This is ABC 57 News at 10 on CW25.
Tonight, a wintry, messy mix has been quickly approaching Michiana. The freezing rain hit around 6, and it hasn't let up since. Good evening, I'm Emily Pritchard. Tonight, we have team coverage of the winter wonderland we've seen all day. ABC 57's Jasmine Norwood learned how these ever-changing temps can do serious damage to our pipes at home. But we start with Chief Meteorologist Jamie Martin, who is in for Monica Ott tonight. And Jamie, what can we expect overnight?
Well, Emily, it's going to get a little bit better, but gradually during the overnight hours.
Thanks, Jamie. Tonight, we're working for you. For many homeowners, freezing pipes and flooding are major issues during the winter. And all of this back and forth weather can do some serious damage. ABC 57's Jasmine Norwood talked with experts today about things to look for and even ways to prevent your pipes from bursting. She joins us live in South Bend on Michigan Street. And Jasmine, this is a very common issue this time of year. And tonight's freezing rain and slick conditions could equal a dangerous, messy commute for Michiana drivers tomorrow. ABC 57 spent the day talking to road crews about how they are tackling this wacky weather. And ABC 57's Judy Lykowski joins us in St. Joseph County near Cleveland Road and Riverside Drive at one of the county's highway garages with an update. And here's a quick live look at some power outages around the area. Right now, it looks like Cass County is the only one in the dark. About 1,200 people there have their power out right now. Of course, we will keep you up to date with any other outages as they happen. One family in Dowagiac is ticked off, but it's a different kind of bug that they say is sucking their blood and money. This is a story you will only see right here on ABC 57 News. A family moved into a new home and moved out just 2 weeks later, all because of a massive bed bug infestation. ABC 57's Jessie McDonough sat down with the family, and she joins us live in front of the house where that family lived on Keene Avenue. And Jessie, this family says they're out a lot of money. And tonight, an update for you. Michigan State Police released the victim's name from last night's deadly aircraft crash near Niles. Police say 50-year-old Christopher McKenna of Elkhart died when his one-seater plane crashed near the airport. That crash happened around 4:30 yesterday afternoon in a wooded area just south of Clark Street in Niles Township. The cause of the crash is unknown, and the FAA is investigating. Earlier today, a single-prop plane crash-landed at the Warsaw Municipal Airport. Crosswinds tipped that plane as it attempted to land to refuel. There was significant damage to the aircraft after it crashed into a fuel tank barrier and a fence. The plane was headed to Grand Rapids from Ohio. Luckily, the 63-year-old pilot and his son on board were not injured. Well, want to work for a professional baseball team? Well, the South Bend SILVERHAWKS are holding a job fair this week. The SILVERHAWKS and Professional Sports Catering are hosting their first of 3 job fairs. It will be held this Wednesday, the 30th, from 5 until 8 p.m. It will be at the Granger Great Room at the Granger Community Church. The SILVERHAWKS say they are looking to fill game day positions in all departments. The 2 other job fairs will be held in February. And speaking of new jobs, coming up this week, the new South Bend Police Chief will be sworn in. Ron Teachman will join the ranks of the South Bend Police Department on Wednesday, the 30th, in a very special ceremony. The mayor's office and the police department are working together to coordinate the community event. It is scheduled to take place at the police department, and Teachman comes to South Bend from New Bedford, Massachusetts, where he served there as police chief. Well, new tonight, 15 animals were killed in a house fire in Indianapolis this morning. The Indy Fire Department was called to the home just after midnight. When firefighters arrived, smoke was pouring out of that home. They say a woman was woken up by her dogs barking. She grabbed one cat, then left the home and called 911. Firefighters say 11 other dogs and 4 cats died in that fire. Damage to the home was estimated at $50,000. Well, a tragic scene from Brazil after a fire killed over 200 people. Coming up, what caused the fire and how many more people were left injured. Plus, you might want to take it easy on the hand sanitizer. We'll show you what virus could be too strong for it to work. Then wacky winter weather across the country continues. We'll take a look at what other states are dealing with it. Tonight, the country of Brazil is horrified after a deadly fire killed over 200 people and injured hundreds more. ABC News reports that at least 230 people were killed after a fire broke out at a nightclub in Santa Maria. The fire apparently started by a stage effect that was all part of the entertainment. Band members were on stage, reportedly lit flares, which set the ceiling on fire. Hundreds were killed, most reportedly from asphyxiation. State fire officials said about 2,000 people were inside that club, and the max capacity was half that at 1,000. And we'll check it out. Ice, snow, and even fog. That's right, across the country. People are dealing with very different but all very severe forms of this winter weather. The fog was so bad it actually canceled a huge golf tournament this weekend in San Diego. And down in North Carolina, black ice is turning roads into dangerous traps. And that's on top of driving on the normally difficult terrain.
Very scary because I don't think I've ever gotten stuck going up a hill before.
And it looks like it might only get worse for us right here in Michigan.
Yeah, it's going to get very interesting, to say the least. I think we've seen most of the ice that we're going to see coming up, but we're still going to see the opportunity for some heavy rain to come back in. So we're going to go from freezing rain to flooding rain and then back to ice and snow.
Yeah, is that a full circle? I'm not sure.
Yeah, pretty much. We're doing a 360.
Thanks, Jamie. And check out this video out of Marquette University. During the middle of a basketball game against Providence, players were spooked by a bat that started swarming the court. Players and coaches tried to throw towels at the creature to knock it out of the air. Well, you can see the bat kept making its rounds, so they dimmed the lights in the arena. No word on if they caught the bat, but they did eventually resume the game. We may have seen the worst of the flu, but now there is something new on the way.
This is one of the most contagious viruses we deal with.
We'll show you how to avoid the norovirus. Plus, the manhunt continues. Coming up, a deeper look into how the prisoner escaped twice. As if this year's flu season wasn't bad enough, there is another contagious virus making its rounds across the country. It's the superbug that came all the way from Australia, and it's a new strain of the norovirus. It can cause severe stomach pain, vomiting, and a fever. But unlike the flu, you can get it from food. You can also catch it from any hard surface you touch, and unfortunately, most sanitizers can't catch the norovirus because it lingers on for weeks. And right now, a nationwide hunt for an escaped criminal continues. But tonight, we now know more about how the man who got out from behind bars, how he actually did that twice. 34-year-old Rocky Delgado Marquez walked out of jail in Phoenix by switching identity bracelets with another inmate scheduled for release. Marquez made his way to Detroit, where authorities eventually found him with an AK-47. But his escape plan worked so well the first time, officers say he broke out again. And new tonight, Casey Anthony is back in the headlines. The woman who was acquitted of killing her daughter is now filing for bankruptcy protection because of her long and expensive legal fight. Just 18 months ago, a jury found her not guilty of killing her 2-year-old daughter, Kaylee. But this morning, she is facing the legal system again, as she has filed for Chapter 7 bankruptcy protections in federal court in Tampa. She owes $500,000 to her defense lawyer. And now to cold justice, a story about a creative judge employing some unusual tactics is just ahead. But first, a standoff in LA. What prompted this man to stand like a statue for hours, and what finally got him down. It was a standoff in LA, and when we say stand here, we mean it. Take a look at this man, Michael Vargas, standing on a narrow chimney high above a street full of LA County deputies. Investigators say Vargas is a convicted felon wanted on an outstanding burglary warrant. And when they showed up, he barricaded himself in the attic, then climbed out onto the roof. Vargas stayed there for nearly 3 hours. And shoveling snow might seem like punishment to some, but it is a handed-down sentencing from one Ohio judge. Judge Williams Dawson shovels snow for the elderly, and he took this childhood pastime to a whole new level by telling the convicts in his courtroom to grab a shovel. But this isn't the first time he's gotten creative with their punishments.
So there was a young man who ran from the police. He said, you know, I ran from the police and they couldn't keep up with me. I said, is that right? I said, well, part of your sentence will be to meet me and my bailiff on Saturday, and we're going to run around our community since you like running so much.
The judge said it is all just motivation to give back to the community he grew up in. And Chief Meteorologist Jamie Martin has one more look at our forecast tonight because you are going to be busy tracking the storm.
Everybody's going to be busy, including everybody here at the station, chipping
right.
away to get back in their cars because we've got a little layer of ice out there right now. So we really inches of rain. So we could see some minor flooding out there. And then we're going to get back to ice and snow by the end of the week.
Sounds like a blast. Thanks for joining us for ABC 57 News. I'm Emily Pritchard.
I'm Jamie Martin.
We'll be back on ABC starting at 11.